Noise-induced hearing loss is a permanent injury millions of Americans face every day. An ironic twist to this issue is that many of those at high risk of hearing damage are causing their own problems. Inside Lehman's Dominic Gregory has the story.
Noise, a fact of city life. The proliferation of portable music devices, especially in the past decade, has given people a way to temporarily escape the loud sounds of the city. Take a ride on a train, a walk in the park, or just head outside your door, and chances are you will see at least a few people who are plugged in, earbuds delivering tunes new and old. The practice of listening to music while in transit is especially popular among young people, but a closer look at their music players reveals cause for concern. The problem isn't what they are listening to, but how loud. Professor Sandra Levy and the students from the Department of Speech, Language, Hearing Sciences have conducted a study addressing this very issue. The results are not encouraging.
We, at the end, measured about over 200 students on the Lehman College campus, and the 200 students, of the 200 students, more than 60% exceeded the normal safe listening, levels.
A safe listening level is 80 decibels at most, and exposure for no longer than an hour and a half. You are susceptible to noise-induced hearing loss if you exceed these limits.
Well, noise-induced hearing loss is basically a mild hearing loss. It can go from mild to severe when loud noises are introduced into the ear. Basically, loud sounds damaging the hair cells in your ears. There are sensory cells that trigger the brain that a sound is being introduced once the sound comes into the ear.
One of the big issues with noise-induced hearing loss is that once it occurs, once you lose your hearing because of it, it's gone forever. You're not getting it back.
But your music player is not the only emitter of potentially dangerous sound levels. In fact, most of the sources of loud city sounds reach dangerous levels, things we've been living with for decades, including car horns, trains, construction equipment. So, exactly how loud is the world around you?
What we're hearing on the street now is about, as you can see, is about 60 decibels, 60, 70 decibels. This is still safe listening. Anything under 80 decibels is safe listening. So right now, we're getting a measurement of the train going overhead. And you can see the sound level meter, a little closer. What you can see is the sound level meter is measuring about 90. That as the train passes, the sound goes lower and lower and lower and lower. So we got about a 30 decibel difference between the train passing and the ordinary street noise.
Since people generally listen to music to block out distractions and annoyances, as well as to immerse themselves in the sounds of their favorite artists, the loud world around them makes the problem even worse. When loud background noise is present, people tend to raise the volume of their portable music devices up past the 80 decibel level so that they can hear the music clearly. It's a recipe for disaster. But how can you listen at a safe level if you cannot translate the volume into decibels? It's actually quite simple.
You can tell you're at a safe level if you can hear what's going on around you, conversation. And you know you're listening at a dangerous level if after you've been listening, you sound like you have cotton, it sounds like you have cotton in your ears, or you hear a ringing in your ears. Then you know you're listening too loud.
Young adults are not the only ones who can suffer from noise-induced hearing loss. A special type of hearing loss, called minimum hearing loss, can lead to developmental damage in children.
The sounds that are affected are high-frequency sounds, because this is a high-frequency hearing loss. So it hits sounds like f, s, sh. Those are the high-frequency sounds. If you don't hear those sounds, you're not going to be able to identify them. What a child has to do when a child is learning, a child has to hear a sound, and the sound they hear, they map with a sound that's in a word in front of them.
This type of hearing loss often goes undiagnosed in children because it starts early in their life and is gradual. Children might be misidentified as having an attention problem rather than a hearing problem.
And it's been found that kids, even with a minimal hearing loss of 25 decibels, have reading problems, comprehension, understanding problems. They tend to fail grades. They're found to be at least placed one grade behind. These are kids who are also reporting feeling socially isolated. They're not hearing their friends.
If awareness is not raised about the issue, this country could be looking at a possible epidemic of noise-induced hearing loss in the future generation.
It's important that we have prevention campaigns. It would be nice to have prevention campaigns on the subway and signs, things like that. It would be nice.
But probably the best prevention of noise-induced hearing loss is you. Turn down the volume of your music, the television, video games, and anything else loud. You are the only one who can protect your hearing. Don't throw your hearing away, because once it's gone, it's gone. Dominic Gregory, Inside Lehman.